Let's welcome Becca Puccia to the stage.
I got it. You need help pronouncing my last name, though. The American version is Puccia. It's Puccia. In Sicily, though, you are right. They say Puccia. So thank you. Yes, Puccia. All right. I want to tell you a little bit about the way I was in college. For some reason, I went to college in upstate New York, SUNY Oswego, right on Lake Ontario. Fucking freezing, let me just say. Wind right across the lake from Canada is no good on a campus like that. So I went through this phase when I was in college where I thought it would be awesome and ironic that I would grow dreadlocks. Because it was so cool. I had dreadlocks. I could wear whatever I wanted because I had dreads because I was so cool. So I hung out with all these hippie kids. One named Casey, the other named Matt Perry. We were all getting our bachelors in creative writing. Let me tell you a little bit about Casey. His name isn't Casey, it's actually the letters K and C. That's how cool he is. So when he's going to be a famous author, he doesn't have to change his pen name because his name is K.C. Wolf. So sick, right? That's what I'm saying. Just natural. He wears like a newsboy cap, you know, flannel shirts, suspenders, you know, nice shredded jeans. And he's always got Adidas on, always looking good. He always had like a waterproof, weatherproof little mini notebook in his back pocket, so he's ready to write at all times, you know, and I always admired that. He taught me a little bit about how Bukowski was a miserable, drunk asshole, but we loved him anyway. He taught me about how Billie Holiday sounded so much better on a record player. He smoked Camel Lights out of a soft pack, but never broke any of them, because that's how cool he was. You know, drove a light blue pickup truck that was, not gonna do that anymore. It was rusted out at the edges. He still looked really fucking cool. He was housemates with a boy named Matt Perry. Matt Perry was the complete opposite of cool. He was, if you remember in that movie, Half Baked, the guy on the couch who never left the couch. He didn't pay rent, he was just the guy on the couch. That was Matt Perry, all right? He had like Medusa curls, he wore like the Royal Tenenbaum style sweatband, you know? Tight t-shirts, and the only boy that I've ever met that looks good in those like girl hippie skirts, like he wore like those girl like hippie skirts. with really cool tennis shoes, but it worked, you know? He's Matt fucking Perry, dude. So, and they lived in this house on Tallman Street, and Tallman Street was just the fucking place to be, let me tell you what, after class. Going to Tallman Street, gonna workshop some poems, awesome. Talk about authors like we knew what we were talking about. We'd like go through books and like edit them like we knew what we were doing. How presumptuous of him to end it like that, what the shit. Cross that out. Yeah, I totally agree, Casey, totally. So we're just, you know, hanging out on Tallman Street on the Ides of March. Anybody know about the Ides of March? Does anybody know when the Ides of March is? All right, March 15th. Now, there's a little thing that goes along with the Ides of March involving Julius Caesar and Brutus. All right, Matt Perry is playing Brutus in this story. All right, I'm Julius Caesar. Casey is just the flame that keeps the whole thing going. We were sitting on the couch. I think he was like thumbing through like 1,001 things you don't know about fish or something. And every time we got around campus and did everything on our bicycles, you know. And Casey was so cool because he didn't have a mountain bike. He had like a road bike, and we were like still stuck in that. Let's get like the Trek, like hardcore mountain bikes and ride around campus. So we're sitting around, you know, I've ridden my bike over there. It's the Ides of March. It's springtime. Well, it's semi-springtime in upstate New York. And they're giving campus tours around Oswego State. There's families, you know, perusing, doing whatever. And Brutus looks over at me and he says, "Dude, we should streak through campus." On our bikes, bro, on our bikes, they would be sick. And I'm just like, looking at it like, oh, whatever, yeah, I guess that'd be cool. Like, you know, whatever. Casey's like, you guys are fucking crazy. He's like, would it be something cool to write about? And I'm like, I don't know, man, I really have to. I'm kind of committed now. I want to seem cool. I do. Of course, streaking apparently makes you cool. Somehow, I don't really know how that works, but the course was from Snig Hall down to Seneca Hall. And I had to conceal my identity somehow, because I had these massive dreadlocks. People can identify me from a distance. I didn't really know how I felt about that. So I had like this ski cap thing, and I like wadded them up and like tucked them in. So you guys remember like what Smurfs looked like, how like the back of their head? Well, like picture like a Smurf with like a foot soldier from Ninja Turtles like combined. And then my face, I had to cover my face up, and I had a friend that was into textiles, and she was this hippie chick, and she had all this like corduroy and stuff laying around, and she had made a mask for a project. So if Leatherface was a hippie, this was his mask, all right? Paisley, patchwork, corduroy, very, very crude mask in retrospect. Little like cutout eyes. So this is me beforehand. I'm just like, I gotta see what I look like in the mirror. So like, I go in the bathroom and I take all my clothes off, except for the foot soldier, Smurf hat, mask, and my Pumas. Got my Pumas on, still looking good. So I'm looking in the mirror, I'm like, yeah, this works, like getting my dreads in place, you know, still looking good. Matt Perry's just out there, like, probably like passed out on the couch. I'm like, all right, let's do this. I'm all amped up at this point, you know what I'm saying? So we get to the top of Snig, and Casey, the calm, cool, collected Casey that he is our getaway driver, all right? He's gonna meet us down at Seneca Hall in his pickup truck so we can heave the bikes in there when it's all over. So we start up at Snig, and the little fucking Brutus, like, he's just like got his clothes off and in his backpack, and he's like on his bike, like bare northern New York, white ass up in the air, like cruising down the fucking hill already. And I'm like, dude. So I just like wad my clothes up, put them in a pile, start heading down. And we see like all the little families touring campus. And there's like a little bit in me that's like, I don't know if I want to do this. But I swallowed it and I was like, what else could I yell but, beware the Ides of March! Just like whirling through the quad, fucking waving and shit. You know, in my mind, there's sirens going off, there's babies crying, but in all actuality, they're probably just like, what the fuck what is happening right now? Where am I? Upstate New York, whatever. Just like shrug it off. So then I see Brutus in the distance, who has betrayed me and just left me there. And also in the distance, like, I don't know if you know this, but they don't really do it here, but on top of snow and ice, they put sand. And it kind of like melts the snow, gives it some traction. But the snow had melted, and there was just sand on top of pavement at this point. Yeah, you guys know what's up. A little bit of jury foreshadowing there. You know what's up. All Shakespeare style and shit. So I'm like cruising, beware the Ides of March, like sticking my ass up because it's so goddamn uncomfortable to put my bare ass on a bicycle seat to begin with, so I had no other choice. Come whip around the corner in the quad, the bike just goes flying. Flying. There is no longer a bike beneath me. Caesar's down. Fuck you, Brutus. Forget that my body is riddled with like stones and like sticks. My nipples like barely hanging on there for dear life. My God. So, but Brutus has gotten a little tinge of compassion in him. He's kind of like turned around and he's like, oh, shit. What? I'm confused. Comes riding back over to me, but playing the good, like, crazy Caesar that I am, I'm like, now's my window of opportunity, motherfucker. I'm motherfucking Julius Caesar. So I get back on my bike, get my window of opportunity, speed the fuck past Brutus. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Stick my Northern New York white ass up in the air, keep cruising through the quad. And at this point, there's like an awkward period because the rush of going through the quad is already over. And now I'm just passing people on their way to class. It's like, hey dude, you going to Psych 100? Awesome. Meet me at Starbucks later in Hill Union. Awesome, my treat this time, right? Bye. Just like, so awkward, so awkward. But there's treachery afoot because people are starting to point over. They're starting to point in the distance. There's fucking campus police. And they're patrolling the area. Yeah, right? Exactly. I am up shit creek with a turd for a paddle at this point. I don't know what to do. Campus cops, Brutus is somewhere in the distance, Casey is nowhere in sight. So I do what I can. I just hightail it out there until I see Casey, and there's a whole area of people just like cheering. And I was like, yes, yes, and there's Casey, all calm and collected and cool, you know, smoking his candlelight like nothing's going on, you know? Just swiftly puts my bike in the back of the truck. Brutus is right behind. We've kind of made amends at this point, visually. We get in the truck and the campus cops know nothing. We don't speed away, we don't make a scene. We just kind of get in the truck, you know, kind of slowly make our way off campus. So today when I look back at this, I'm like, was this an epic failure? Maybe to some, maybe. You know, the whole wiping out the nipple hanging off, that whole thing. See that being kind of a failure. Yet, at this point, hell yeah, it was a victory. You want to know why? Because, first of all, Julius Caesar lives. Second of all, my bare, white, naked ass is still haunting the shit out of people today. So the spirit of Julius Caesar survived the Ides of March. Thank you.
Yeah!